you're looking for. Go and mind your own business.
Hey guys, and welcome back to another Kingdom Come Deliverance video, and in this video I'm going to be showing you how and where to find the DLC armor. Now you will have got this if you pre-ordered the game, or you might be able to get it some other way. Now also, if you haven't pre-ordered the game, you might still be able to get this armor because it might just be the maps that you need the DLC for, but I am showing you exactly the pinpoint where, so if you go there anyway, if you haven't pre-ordered it, you might still find something there. I'm not 100% sure though, but if you've pre-ordered the game, you got the DLC with the pre-order, you will definitely be able to find these, so yeah. Now, before I get into this, you need to make sure you have gone about 2 hours through the game. It's just after when Scalus is burned and you have left Talmberg. You'll have been taken by Teresa to her mill, and once you get to the mill, that is where you can start questing for this armor. Now this armor will get you very rich very quickly, and you'll see why. So let's get into it. Oh, good morning. So after waking up in the mill of Teresa's place, then you might find that there is actually a chest next to you. In this chest, if you have a quick look in, you'll find your belongings, but you'll also find 5 maps. Now this is just if you pre-ordered it with the treasure DLC, but like I said before, if you go to the places that I say on these maps, you probably will find this armor anyway. But don't hold me to that, I do not know 100% if you can get this stuff without pre-ordering it first. But once you've got these maps, I would definitely recommend starting with map 1. This is the lowest tier one, and it can get you good starts on some of the armor and some of the weapons, and of course some of the money you can get from it. It's obvious looking at the map that where the X is, that marks a spot of the treasure. Now, take note that there is a skull there. Now this indicates that it's a grave, so you'll have to do some digging. So before you set on your tracks, make sure that you go and pick up the spade that is next to the miller's cart, right next to you. It should be around the courtyard somewhere, and you should pick that up and take it with you. Unfortunately for me, I am an idiot, so I went to find it without it and I had to trek all the way back and forth. I keep mistaking these rocks for graves. Ah, I think we might have found something. Oh god, do we need a spade? So, yes, you've got to go and find the stuff to dig it up. This is a grave. Now we can see there is a sign going down to the bottom right of the map saying that's going to Rattay. So we know that it's opposite Rattay, across the river, and just above some cliffs in what looks to be a forest above a camp as well. So let's head that way. Now if you're at Rattay, you head northeast along the path. Here you'll find a stream, and if you follow that river all the way up north, then you might find a bridge. Once you come across this bridge, cross it. After crossing the bridge, you will then make out a camp at the side of the woods. Going up to this camp, there is a small hidden pathway. Now this pathway is pretty hard to find, but once you've found it, it should lead you pretty much all the way up until you reach what looks to be a burnt out camp. Now this burnt out camp does have a very hard lockpick chest, but unfortunately because of lockpicking in the game at the moment, I wasn't able to get into that. But if you're good at lockpicking, if you're one of those very rare people that can actually do it, make sure you can lockpick that chest and tell us what's inside. But nonetheless, head on from there. Keep going up through the woods, and finally you'll see on the map, a sort of darker patch. There'll be a darker patch in the trees, and literally just to the east of that will be where you'll find the grave. It might take a little bit of looking around, but you'll find the grave eventually on this point marked on the map. Of course, this is where the spade comes in handy. Make sure you don't forget it. Like I said, this is going to make you pretty rich. This is only the first one, and already you're getting a lot of gold, you're getting some decent armor, and you might find a few more things held in there as well. You might also find some books which will let you learn potions. But nonetheless, here is your first reward that you can use or sell to make more money. But on to the next one. Thankfully, the next one is one of the easier ones to find. Looking at the map, you will see that this time we are going west from Rattay. in a sort of southwesterly area. This is, of course, as you might be able to tell, there's a big rock and there is a mine. Of course, you can follow the red arrow or you can make your own way there, but the most important part is going past Rattay, crossing the river, the big river, you can't really miss it. Then there will be a path heading west. This path will take you down through the woods, but make sure you don't go too far. There is a very prominent bend on the map that you watch out for, and just as you get 3/4 of the way around that bend, then stop. Here, it's time to go off the beaten track. Head into the woods, down through all the trees, and you'll come across a few rocks. But there'll be one that stands out the most, and this is a massive rock. From here, just looking past it, there will be a semi-hidden mine shaft. Walking into it, you don't need any tools or anything. There'll just be a sack lying there, where you will find your next items. This will be more upgrades, probably one of my favourite ones. There was some books in there, there was a lot better armour, some weapons as well, but you can't read the books yet. These books are used for when you learn to read, and you'll have to find a scribe to learn to read, of course. At the moment, we're pretty geared out with some good weapons and some good armour, but we can take this further. Going into the third map, we can see once again that this is a graveyard map. We need to make sure we keep that spade from earlier. This is directly opposite a windmill that is on a hill, near a town called Uderhitz. It seems that there is a lake, and there is a fork that goes either side of the lake, and following the middle dry stone wall it should take us to a tree. This tree, under it should be a grave. So let's head that way. As you can see, the so-called town of Uderhitz is not too far from Townburg. Make sure you head that way because it will be useful for a trading centre in the future, and there are quite a few side missions that go on there. Once you've reached this place, or you've found the windmill on the hill first, make sure you see if you can find a little pond. From this pond you'll see a fork and 3 dry stone walls. Make sure you follow the middle one and it will take you to a tree that looks a little bit bigger than the others. Under this tree will be the 3rd reward stash. In the stash you'll find some pretty decent stuff. You've got some better armor now, and you are really getting pretty rich at this point, even so early on in the game. I'd just like to say, by at this point in the game, after selling a lot of my stuff, I had over 3k gold, which was quite a lot. Okay, so with only 2 chests left, and yes, take note that these are both chests, it seems like the end is in sight for collecting all your DLC items. Well, unfortunately for you guys, in this video I will not be able to tell you what is in these chests, because I can't lockpick, and I broke all my lockpicks. It is very hard to get into these last 2 chests. I will show you exactly where they are, but it's up to you guys to find out what is in them. And as soon as I've actually found out what's in them and found them myself, I'll make sure I make an update video to this. Okay, but on to the 4th one. Now this 4th one is some ruins. We can see once again from the map, it's pretty close to Rattay. It's sort of close to where the 2nd mine was. But let's head back that way anyway. Crossing the river once again, heading back west of Rattay, we can see if we go along the same path we pretty much went on before, we might come across a ruined building. Trying to get in this ruined building, you're going to have to climb on the walls a little bit and you'll find a chest here. Now this chest does contain a lock, so you'll need a lockpick to get into it. It is an easy one, but like I said, I am terrible at lockpicking. Now the way to get lockpickers are supposedly from merchants and traders, but I'm not 100% sure since I haven't seen any of the merchants or traders I've met actually owning these lockpicks. But once again, you can get it from the miller, Teresa's uncle, from where you spawn. He'll give you a few lockpicks, but they are limited. So if you can get some lockpicks, you can head over to here, then you'll be able to lockpick your way in. Now on to the 4th and final one. Now despite this being a chest, this is actually a very hard lockpick. So good luck getting into this one. I don't know anyone that has yet. Even some of the websites that I'll be doing my research on how to get most of these DLC stuff, no one's actually got into it just yet. So please be the first to do it. I'd love to know what's in this chest. This is a very hard lockpick chest, and it's actually a deer hide. It's up in the woods, probably one of the most northerly places you can go. If you go northwest above Skellies, yes, there is a big forest, and in this big forest, going up, further up, you'll be able to find a deer hut. Now this deer hide is pretty tricky to find, so you'll have to do a little bit of looking around, but I'll show a map here of the exact pinpoint location of where it is, so you'll be able to use that as some of your compass. Now once again, here you'll find a very hard lockpick chest, and good luck trying to get into that. But that's it for the chest. The first 3 are pretty easy to get. The 4th one's pretty hard, And the last one's damn near impossible. If you guys have actually got into this chest, make sure you tell me, and tell me what is in them. If you guys want to see any more tutorials on certain aspects, I'm going to be doing a hunting one next probably. Make sure you leave your ideas down in the comments, and I'll do a lot of tutorials on Kingdom Come Deliverance and how you can get that stuff. Also, if you do not pre-order the game and don't own the DLC, leave a comment if you can actually find these stuff and if you can still get the armor just without the maps in the first place. I'd love to know if that was possible. But thank you guys for watching. Make sure you stick around for more Kingdom Come Deliverance tutorials, and there'll be links in the description to some of the websites I used to help me find these places and translate them. And if you just want a written version of this, make sure you click the links in the description. But until then guys, I will see you in the next one.